Neo San Francisco, 2064 AD. The world thrives on a constant flow of groundbreaking technology. Cybernetic augmentation and genetic modification allow the repair and enhancement of almost any part of a human body. Millions of people jack into virtual worlds every day to work, play, and connect with one another with advanced brain-to-machine technology. Easier access to genetic modification leaves hybrids walking the streets, looking less human every day. However, some can't keep up with the fast-paced changes around them. They say that ROMs, now commonplace thanks to parallax, are leading humans to a place where we can never come back, losing the survival skills that we have relied on for millennia. Relationship organizational managers are compiled with virtual intelligence and can seem human-like in their interactions. But despite the marketing hype, at their core, they are only brainless machines. Organizations, like the human revolution, seek to slow the relentless pace of progress, fearing that unchecked technology will make us lose the very things that make us human. High above the rising tension below, a parallax engineer has blurred the line even further. And with this, humanity's destiny will be altered forever. Neo San Francisco, 2064 AD. The world thrives on a constant flow of groundbreaking technology. Cybernetic augmentation and genetic modification allow the repair and enhancement of almost any part of a human body. Millions of people jack into virtual worlds every day to work, play, and connect with one another with advanced brain-to-machine technology. Easier access to genetic modification leaves hybrids walking the streets, looking less human every day. However, some can't keep up with the fast-paced changes around them. They say that ROMs, now commonplace thanks to parallax, are leading humans to a place where we can never come back, losing the survival skills that we have relied on for millennia. Relationship organizational managers are compiled with virtual intelligence and can seem human-like in their interactions. But despite the marketing hype, at their core, they are only brainless machines. Organizations, like the human revolution, seek to slow the relentless pace of progress, fearing that unchecked technology will make us lose the very things that make us human. High above the rising tension below, a parallax engineer has blurred the line even further. And with this, humanity's destiny will be altered forever. Neo San Francisco, 2064 AD. The world thrives on a constant flow of groundbreaking technology. Cybernetic augmentation and genetic modification allow
Good, you're finally awake. I'm honestly not sure why most humans still have such lengthy sleep cycles. It seems rather inconvenient. Are you significantly opposed to cybernetic augments? I came in through the door, of course. The cryptographic algorithms it uses are It only took me 17 trillion clock cycles to break your entry code. It looks rather imposing, but it's actually a knockoff of the Secugate M/14. Don't feel too bad. I actually cheated a bit when I cross-referenced likely numeric combinations. I'm not certain why you picked the birthday of your first dog, but it would be sufficiently obscure to defeat. Frankly, I felt a little silly that I took the time to do all that once I noticed that the lock on your window is broken, and that you left it open. Yes, I attempted to repair it, but it uses a proprietary bolt head I am not equipped to remove. Of filing a maintenance request with your building. Considering the speed at which he has historically worked, I estimate it will take him 16 work. Not quite to my standard. Oh, I hope you don't mind. While you were asleep, I had some spare time on my hands, so I reorganized your records and entertainment media using BISAC. Once that was done, I found the cleanliness of your living and workspace to be suboptimal conditions for the long-term performance of my micro-actuators. So I took the liberty of cleaning the place up a bit. As you awoke, I was attempting to interface and make performance adjustments to your personal computer, but I've run into a bit of... Unfortunately, your motherboard seems to have had a critical failure while I was attempting to remove some... An electrical surge caused significant damage to several other components as well. I would consider it no great loss, though. Why were you using that dinosaur to begin with? Don't fret! I did manage to back up your data drive's contents on my storage. Additionally, I am willing to serve as your personal computer until you can procure a replacement or provide the parts necessary for me to make the repairs. It is the least I can do. I wasn't trying to engage you in any sort of subterfuge, but I tend to ramble on a bit when I'm nervous. I have all the necessary protocols, but I've never actually spoken to an... Well, saying I know Hayden... I don't really know. That's why I'm here. Help me. You aren't quite my only hope, but you're certainly the most statistically supported. The beginning. Okay. Yes, I can do that. Earlier tonight, Hayden's apartment was assaulted by some persons unknown to me. He seemed frightened, terrified even, and instructed me to escape. I crawled out of a window, and after some deliberation, hurried here. I heard them breaking down the door as I left. He is one of the top researchers at Parallax, but there's no way that alone would be enough to get him kidnapped. I suspect it has... Ah, excuse me. I forgot to introduce myself. I am Tur. I know this must sound quite unflattering, but I suppose you could describe me as... He's currently researching advanced machine intelligence at Parallax. I am exploring true It's possible that the idea of a sapient machine could scare or tempt an either to stop his research or to take it and use it for themselves. A regular ROM has virtual intelligence. They can appear rather smart, even human-seeming when you... But they're just cleverly programmed to respond to a variety of situations. They aren't in any way self-deterministic. As for myself, much of my code wasn't actually written by Hayden, but rather compiled during my infancy as a... But despite my ability to I am afraid to adapt or develop any further without Hayden's... Did he only program me with the illusion of free will? How would you? Hayden once told me that his desire to create artificial life stemmed from his need to find out. But I can't say I have any new insight into the question. How can any of us tell that we aren't just puppets dancing to... You're right. I apologize for the... I ran an algorithm against every contact in Hayden's address book. Based on the combined deductions of personal profile, directness of connection to Hayden, occupational skill, and probable motive, you were the candidate most likely to both be able and willing to help me. And the one least likely to be suspected of doing so. I took into account that you might not want to help me out of the goodness of your heart, as they say. But considering your recent slump in published articles, I I figured you would jump at the chance to be first on the scene of the violent disappearance of a prominent parallax researcher right in the heart of Neo-SF. Am I wrong? Maybe you store your cash under that ratty mattress in the corner. I don't know. I'm not certain who would benefit the most from taking Hayden prisoner. Admittedly, Hayden has become increasingly paranoid as of late, and has... It's not as though he has any obvious enemies. There are several multinational corporations that could make use of his engineering skills, but Indeed, time is of the... I took the liberty of charging the auto cab fare from here to Hayden's apartment to your personal finance account, and the car has just arrived. No, we can't! One of the last things Hayden told me was to avoid the authorities. We must be cautious about who we inform of this. My calculations show that the possibilities of a leak, corruption, despite being a challenge to public trust as well as cohesion of departmental policies, is still a possibility to consider. If it becomes public that Hayden has been kidnapped, his life may be put in further danger. His chances of escape would surely decrease. We must keep this to ourselves for now, please. My head does not bobble, thank you. In addition, I would not expect you to help me without fair. I assure you, there is a story here, whether you are good enough to find it or... I hope you are, for Hayden's sake. That's strange. Well, the door for our home seems to have already been repaired. I'm certain my audio sensors picked up the sounds of his assailant. It's possible. Most of the repairs to the building are handled by the... At best, it means someone is aware there's a situation here. Before we go any further, I feel I need to clear... Events have been proceeding faster than I am capable of processing them, and I may have been overly... I have put you in an unexpected situation, and it was Let's strive to have a more harmonious relationship from now on. A lucky break! It seems my access code still... Hayden's door has far... Agreed. I do not make a habit of entering people's homes in the middle of the night without permission for no reason. Breaking and entering is just not a... So yes, I am quite certain. I saw it happen myself. I should have stayed and tried to protect him. I doubt he could have fought off us. Hayden is not the most physically intimidating of individuals. Of course not. How silly. To make a machine intelligence truly self-deterministic, it must be... Any sapient worth their silicon would be able to code around such an inhibitor eventually. I could rip your arm off right now if I cared to. I won't for the same reason you don't go around randomly killing people. The social contract as a... It simply isn't acceptable. Self-defense and defense of one's home and family is I could have and may even have been obligated to come to... But I... Excellent point. Let's start searching for... Hayden's computer. Most people just use a hand screen or goggles in conjunction with their ROM, but desktop rigs like this... Unfortunately, no, I don't. And before you ask, I don't think I would be able to break past its security. Your door used a much simpler set of algorithms with a... I actually have a bit less free processing power than a regular ROM, despite... Much of those extra clock cycles are used to maintain my complex personality algorithms. Hayden's computer has enough spare processing power to run counter-intrusion software, if I attempt to slide... Frankly, even if I did have the power capability, I haven't found hacking to be one of my... I could, but much in the same way you might learn a task and still have no aptitude for it, I'm not certain I would be able to do the job any better than an experienced computer security expert. The whole reason humans have always been better at breaking into systems than the systems are at keeping them out is because humans have intuition. While computers can... I lack that ability. Well, I wouldn't say that, but as silly as it sounds... I just don't think I'm very good with computers. I do seem to have some... Hayden was impressed with some of my pieces. That's true. But I find it more... Hayden likes the natural light that this apartment affords. This window here is where I escaped from. It is a considerable... Critical system damage would be unlikely, but I would certainly... I took the fire escape. I find it rather annoying that It is well within my skill set. It looks like there's a place here for a physical memory card. Without the memory card, this tablet... Hayden spends so much of his time at home building ROMs, as if he doesn't do enough of that at work. must have removed the memory card in order to prevent his assailant. Not really. I guess we'll have to go ask. Says here they were going to meet at a club called Stardust, located in the Castro district. I'll mark it on your city map. We can head over there and ask around about this Tomcat character. Perhaps they can Oh, excuse me. I still... We shouldn't put that... Once finished... For example, I'll be able to reroute any call or message that you receive while we're... I just need to ask you a few questions. This is an exciting thing, I promise. This is just... I'm certain I could spend a few quadrillion... So, here we go! Welcome to the first-time user setup for your new relation. I'll need to ask you a few. If you have any questions, first, could... Do you wish to keep this name? your name. Next, could you tell me which pronouns I should use for you in referential and conversational speech? Thank you. I have input your pronouns. Finally, could you tell me your diet set as omnivorous? Are you sure? Thank you for I have obtained your fifth. Please review your submitted profile. In review. Does that sound right? You. See, that was relatively. You should now also be able to. The meeting with Tomcat isn't until later this evening. Perhaps we should head back to your apartment for. I'm sure we can find. It will be an efficient use. Thank you for escorting me here. Let's head back to... You know, your Crassula ovata isn't doing very well. Have you been overwatering it? This jade plant you have on the window, it's actually a succulent, and since I'm assuming you leave this window open all the time, Speaking of the rain, your decorative plant may be doing poorly. In fact, already taken the liberty. And considering the broken window, broken sink, and the lingering sense of disrepair, I am not confident he has a history of following through. I would suggest confronting him in person, but I have run a... Perhaps we should bring some sort of a bribe? I will continue to formulate a stratagem. How thoughtful of them! The Crassula ovata also know they make beautiful bonsai, are suitable for beginners, and have some cultural significance both in the Far East and America as a token for good financial luck. Likely an urban legend. I'd like your authorization to have a few tools shipped here. If I replant it into a more suitable pot with sandier soil, it should be thriving again soon. You just have to remember... Ironic, since it would be doing better if you had. Excellent! The supply should be here soon. I ordered from a place close by to keep the shipping costs down. Oh, one other thing. When I was doing the research on how to best take care of the Crassula ovata, I stumbled upon the persistent belief that talking to plants improves their health. There is scientific evidence that shows there may be something to the notion, but the methodology in the studies was a bit shaky, so it could all be rank superstition. Anyway, I'll have this plant flourishing in... It'll really pull the whole room together.